Alright, UFC Light Heavyweight Champion vacates his title due to a career-altering injury. And no, this isn't a video that was supposed to come out 7 months ago when the same thing happened to Jiri. Jamahal Hill vacates his title because he played a game of basketball, which is super unfortunate for him because I was really looking forward to that Jiri versus Jamahal Hill fight. And apparently when he returns, he's going to come back with a title shot, but he decided to vacate the title. I guess it's fitting seeing that Jiri did the same thing. It would be kind of weird to see Jamahal Hill sit out for almost a year, especially after Jiri did that, but that leaves a lot of room for discussion, and we're going to talk about it today. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and let me know what you guys think about this news. How shocked were you? Because when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. So let me know in the comment section below who should fight for the title next. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into this video. Alright, Jamahal Hill recently won the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship in a vacant title fight against Glover Teixeira all the way back in January in that card in Brazil. Absolutely dominated Glover Teixeira. A performance that's severely underrated because when you look at, the Jiri fight with Glover Teixeira, he struggled with Glover, and Glover was on his way to winning the fight. But we just saw Jamahal absolutely dismantle him on the feet. So I was really looking forward to seeing his return, and I feel like he's one of the more disrespected current champions right now, just because, yeah, we haven't seen too much of him. Before he fought Glover, he fought Thiago Santos. Like, the guy hadn't really proved himself in the top 5 or anything like that. So I think there is a lot of doubt with him, and it was unfortunate that he doesn't get to show his skill. But what's crazy is this is the second time in a row with the same weight class. Like, when does anybody else ever really vacated their title because of an injury? Like, this is super rare, and it's happened 2 times in a row in the past year. And if you guys missed it, Jamahal Hill uploaded a video breaking the news himself and just sounded absolutely devastated.
He gave up the belt and allowed for others to not hold the division up, to keep the division moving forward, to keep entertaining, to make sure the people had a champion. And I'll do the same. And
man, I feel bad. I like Jamahal Hill. He's a good guy. And now we have no champion at light heavyweight once again. And I think we're most likely going to see the title shot either in September or October, but I'm going to get into why. The way I see it, we have like 5 different contenders that could fight for the belt. And I'm going to say at the end of the video who I think they're going to pick and when. So yeah, first I'm going to start breaking these down, and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of these contenders and who deserves it the most. Now, starting with the most likely option, and I think is almost a guarantee, assuming he's ready, is Jiri Jiri obviously is owed a title shot, was the champion, vacated his title because of his own shoulder injury. There were rumors of him and Jamahal fighting in August. Obviously, the fight didn't really go through, so we already knew that there was some sort of problem, but we figured it was from Jiri's side, so I guess Jamahal Hill is having his own trouble. So that means Jiri could be available in September, in October, and maybe even November. So I think he's more than likely going to get the next title shot, at least be one half. Like, I'm pretty sure, assuming he's ready, I think it's pretty much a guarantee at this point. Now, before the fight with Glover and Jamahal Hill, obviously there was a vacant title fight for the light heavyweight title, ended in a draw with Jan Blachowicz versus Ankalaev. It was a draw, and a lot of people criticized the decision. However, I agree with the decision. I thought it was a draw. Originally, I actually scored it for Jan, I believe, but then thinking about it in that 5th round, yeah, I totally agree. That was a 10-8 round. So Jan had a pretty good performance there, but we know that he's matched up. In a couple weeks, he's going to be fighting Alex Pereira, and that's a matchup I expect Jan to win. It is worth mentioning that, of course, Glover Teixeira was able to submit Jan Blachowicz, and obviously Glover Teixeira is Alex Pereira's coach. However, as we know, Alex Pereira is a kickboxer. He's a big guy, but I just think that Jan Blachowicz is going to mix in the grappling. People seem to forget that he's a grappler too, and I think he's just going to wrestle him. I think it's going to be a good performance from Jan Blachowicz. I mean, Israel Adesanya was able to control him, and obviously Jan Blachowicz was able to control Israel Adesanya. So just going off of that, I'm going to go with Jan, but if it stands on the feet, it could be a close fight, and honestly, I could see Pereira winning, but also Jan has a lot of power, and also Alex Pereira recently got knocked out. I'm going to probably go with Jan. But regardless, the winner of that fight has a decent chance at fighting next, and honestly, Jiri versus Alex Pereira is a banger of a fight. Like, that is a crazy fight, but my only concern with either Jan or Alex Pereira is it could be a quick turnaround if they're going to be fighting in a September, or even October is a pretty close turnaround. We don't know how much damage the winner is going to get. Like, both guys are strikers. I could see someone getting, knocked down, at least both fighters getting knocked down. So it would be a quick turnaround, especially to fight a guy like Jiri who's so explosive, who's just so in your face. But either way, I think those guys would probably be one of the bigger names. Another guy I want to get to is Johnny Walker. This is probably the least likely option in my opinion, but it's still possible because Johnny Walker is a big name. You never know who's ready, who's not ready, so it really all depends on that. But Johnny Walker is a big name of it itself, coming off a good win against Anthony Smith. Before that, he beat Paul Craig, so he's had a really good run up until now. But I think the elephant in the room, and the person that I think will most likely fight for the title, is Ankalaev. Now, normally I would say that this is probably not likely of an option because it seemed like Dana White wasn't really too happy with him him after the fight, saying how the fight was boring, and also kind of criticizing Magomed's words after the fight, basically complaining about the decision. If you guys remember, Magomed Ankalaev was upset with the decision and thought that it was bullshit.
I always do whatever I have to do to adjust. If I'm losing in a stand-up, I'll go down to grappling and wrestling. If I'm losing in wrestling, I'll stand up. I can do both things. But I don't know if I'm going to fight for this organization again, because honestly, I don't know what just happened.
And basically kind of said the UFC should, you know, check their judges. I don't think he showed up to the post-fight press conference either. But when you look at who's available and who makes sense, I just think it all lines up. First of all, obviously, yes, he drew with Jan Blachowicz. A lot of people think he won the fight, so that is something that is very significant. He also hasn't fought since that fight and could be totally available. I don't know if he has injuries, of course. Anything is possible. And the UFC likes to announce their Abu Dhabi cards a bit earlier than usual, so I expect an announcement within the end of the month, maybe the beginning of August. And like I said, that fight takes place July 30th, so we really need some time to see if the winner could even go step in. And like I said, regardless, I mean, we're talking 2 months, which I mean is decent time, but really the winner of this fight won't really have any free time for their family. Like, it's really going to be all the way back in a training camp, so it's possible, but it just might be a little inconvenient for them. And I would rather the winner of this fight for the title next, simply because they're bigger names, and I think they would just be funner fights, especially Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka. That's a fun ass fight. And I really do see the UFC putting Magomed Ankalaev versus Jiri Prochazka on the Abu Dhabi card. That would obviously make sense, and I just think it lines up perfectly there for where their card placement is. And also they owe Abu Dhabi 2 fights. Who else are they going to put on there? Obviously there's talk of Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards, but there's also talk of that at MSG, and also that doesn't really make sense to put the fight there, in my opinion. Like, obviously they can't put the bantamweight title or the strawweight title, most likely not the middleweight title, obviously not the heavyweight title. So what are we left with? Maybe the women's bantamweight's vacant title, maybe the flyweight title, possibly the featherweight title if Volk isn't going to fight Islam. The lightweight title is most likely going to be on that card anyway, so I don't know. I think most likely we're going to see Magomed Ankalaev versus Jiri Prochazka for that Abu Dhabi card. That's going to be my prediction right here, right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get an announcement of the Abu Dhabi card today. Like I said, the UFC likes to announce these very early, and I just think the timing with Jamahal Hill finally announcing this, I think we could see an announcement very soon. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if today I'm making another video talking about their Abu Dhabi card. But regardless, guys, let me know what you guys think of the news. I was so shocked. I saw this hours before and I thought it was a joke. I even saw Jamahal Hill uploaded the video, but I thought it was just like some sort of troll video until I watched the video finally, and he was crying at the end. And yeah, you gotta feel bad for Jamahal Hill. I hate, you know, just talking about the other people fighting for the title, but it would be interesting to see, you know, this kind of light heavyweight tournament kind of go down, and then Jamahal Hill fight the winner. So hopefully it gets better fast. I don't know if this trend of vacating your title for an injury is gonna keep up. Like, a lot of people would have their title and there would be an interim title, so I don't know if this is going to be like the new thing. Who knows? But we're gonna see in the future, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 20K by the end of the year. You guys are the best fans in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next one.